welcome back to Pixie Woo. Today's makeup tutorial I'm going to do for you is a drugstore Valentine's date night makeup tutorial, so I hope you enjoy. Firstly, I'm going to take Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. I'm going to work that all over my skin with an expert face brush. Really like this foundation. Goes on really nice, but stays. It's not very often that you find a drugstore foundation that still has a slight glow to it and doesn't go really matte on the skin. Got a few blemishes at the moment, but they will be gone in a minute. It's fine. Right, I'm going to come back and do the concealing at the end because I'm using slightly cheaper. They're not cheap in any way, but slightly cheaper eyeshadows. They may have a bit more fall down. It's a bit of fluff floating, and that's to be expected. So I'm going to use a foundation, concealer at the end. Firstly, I am going to take a little bit of this. This is Bourjois Colourburst eyeliner eyeshadow, 24-hour waterproof in the colour. Come on, hit me with the colour. Rose 04. I'm going to buff that into my eyelid first. I want to use pinky rosy tones because I never do. I just think they're really pretty. You know, when you're going on a first date, it's so difficult to know what to wear, what makeup to wear, what clothes to wear is even worse. I remember going on first dates and thinking, do I wear heels? Do you wear heels on a first date? I'd always wear, like, you know, boots with a bit of a heel, or shoes, like court shoes, so they're called, but I don't know if that's what they're called. They've got a slight bit of a heel, but nothing too high. Because you just never know. And I tend, not anymore, but I used to, focus on the eyes more than the lips, because hopefully I might get a kiss at the end of it. So I didn't want to have a threatening lipstick on, and I'd want someone that would look me in the eye. So I would always focus on making my eyes look pretty so that they'd want to look me in the eye, like nice makeup, but nothing so scary, isn't it? Nothing too much, because then you look like you're high maintenance and you wear loads of makeup. But you also want to be you at the same time, because you don't want to go looking nothing like you and then the next time you date them, you look totally different. So, I'm so glad I don't have to go through that anymore. But it is fun. It is fun. Dating is fun. Right, I am going to get, should I take this one? I've got this Bourjois palette that has 4 colours in. Why not? And it is called 02 Overrose. Get rid of that little stupid applicator that no one can actually use. Just going to get Bold Metals 203, and I'm going to start with this one here. See that colour? Now, because we've got the base on, it's going to come out a little bit stronger, so I'm just going to really softly buff that. I placed it in the centre first so I could see how dark it would be, and then I'm buffing it outwards and letting the brush do the work for me. So the brush fits in the socket and the brush will do it. It's a nice colour, that is. I normally veer away from pinky tones, but I've seen some lovely makeup with these colours recently. It's made me like them again. Right, I'm then going to take a little bit of this. This is a Max Factor Masterpiece. It's like an eyeshadow liquid. I want to put that just in here. I'm going to get a shading brush and just soften that a little bit. Then going to go in with the colour in the middle, which is like a glittery pink. And I push that in the middle of my eye. It's kind of got a vanilla-y undertone to it, that. Like the flecks in it is slightly more vanilla-y. Then I'm going to take an angled brush. This is a brow brush, and the darker colour. And that is going to just define my outer eye, winged out a little bit. not too strong, it's just to add a little bit of definition. I'm then going to take my 203 and just soften that. Just take my brush that I used the foundation and just give that a good sweep underneath to get rid of any glitter that may have fallen down there a little bit. We haven't powdered, so it should clean up pretty easy. Sticking with that palette, I'm going to take an accent brush and just run a little bit of that glittery colour over where we put the pink highlighter, because it should just stick to it really nicely. I'm glad that eyeshadow has a little bit of a gold reflex to it, because I've then got a Barry M pencil in number 10 and I'm going to put that in my waterline. It's quite a goldy colour. And I have a black Rimmel waterproof one for my top waterline. I've gone waterproof so it won't transfer as much. Might get a little bit of transfer, but hopefully not too much. By putting that in the top waterline, it just draws attention to the lash line without making it look like you've got loads of black liner on. I'm going to get my brow brush that I used as well and just run a little bit of the black onto here. Just push that in the very corner of the eye, just to lift that. And give a slightly smudged, sexy, sultry look. And I'm focusing everything on the top of the eyes to start off with. I might put some eyeshadow underneath, but first I want to see how it looks with it just on top, because I don't want it to be too over the top. Right, mascara. I've got a Bourjois Mascara. Now mascara completely changes the makeup, so put the mascara on when you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm finished or not. Put your mascara on, then you'll decide whether you need more or not. Sometimes you go that little bit more, and then when you add mascara, it's turned into a really like proper night out with the girls look, or the guys look. Right, and then going to move on to concealer, and this is where the hard work comes in. I have got two of these new concealers by Maybelline, and they are the Eraser Eye. And I'm going to start off with, what colours are they? Light and nude. We'll start off with the nude. I'm going to take that under my eye. I really like these, but you do need to use a brush with them as well. I think that, look, I can put this over my blemishes as well. I think that I really like the idea that you can just use this to put it on, but then how do you blend it? So let's get a brush, just buff that in. And then I'm going to take the light one, run that down my nose, here, a little bit through my brow bone. I'm going to take that right in that dark bit in here. You could put that on the top of your cheekbones if you wanted to as well. Long as it buffs in nicely and doesn't look like you've got tons of makeup on. Just take my brush that I use the eyeshadows and just run that over there, and what's left on the brush will cling to where the concealer has been put on there, and it will just soften that but blend it really nicely. For the brows, I've got L'Oreal Brow Genius Kit. I'm going to take an angled brush and just run that through the brows a little bit. Don't want them to look too defined or drawn on. So for those of you going on a first date, how exciting. Or a double date. Or those of you, it's just Valentine's Day and you are going out with your partner. Ian and I don't really do Valentine's Day because we actually got married on the 11th of February, so it's just before Valentine's, so we celebrate that. I've also always said to him, you shouldn't need a day to tell me that you love me, and I shouldn't need a day to tell him that I love him. We should just show it. So we're not really massively into it, but dates are fun. getting to know someone. And I always used to think, if nothing comes of it, then hopefully I've made a new friend. It's a tiny bit dark for my brows, but it's really hard to find a brow colour that's right in the drugstore. I'm going to take a little bit of this Soap and Glory Kick-Ass powder, if I can open it, on a little brush and just pop that under the eye. It's got a slightly yellowy tone to it, so it's just going to lift my under eyes a little bit. I'm then going to take this Collections Contour Kit. I'm going to take the darkest colour first and just run that over my cheeks, starting from the underneath and pulling up. I'm not using it to give me a massive contour, just for a little bit of colour really. A little bit around the hairline. And then I'm going to take the lighter colour on the brush that I used for the powder and just run that on the top of the cheekbones, really softly. A little bit of Bourjois blush in 15, Radiant Rose. It smells nice. Just on the top apple of my cheeks and pulling back a little bit. And then lip. I have got a L'Oreal lip liner in Beige Nude, which is one of my favourite colours actually. Now, when it comes to Valentine's Day or first dates and lips, it's really, really hard to know what to do. Because if your signature colour is a red, then wear a red. But if you don't really have a signature colour, go for something that's quite natural and that will wear off nicely. I think about sometimes going for those, like this, those kind of lipsticks that last 24 hours, which are lovely, but they're so drying on the lips and they make your lips look dry, and also they can kind of break up a little bit. So I'd prefer to use something that's a little bit more moisturising and lightweight and will just wear off throughout the day. Because there's nothing wrong with not having a strong lipstick on. So I'm going to use a lip liner first. It's really good, that eyeliner. It hasn't fallen down at all. Then I'm going to take this Revlon Colourburst in 105, and it's just a really, really sheer lipstick, and I really like it. To me, it's a very J-Lo colour. That's going to wear off beautifully as well throughout the night. And then I'm going to go back in with my eyeshadows and my accent brush and the purpley tone that I used first, and just softly run that under the eye, because I can see I can get away with a little bit under the eye. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the darker one, the very corner, hardly any. So there you have it guys, first date makeup or Valentine's Day makeup. Hope you've enjoyed it, take care and we'll see you soon, bye!